Have you ever wondered why the South China Sea is a boiling pot of geopolitical tensions? This expansive body of water bordered by China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei and Taiwan isn't just any ordinary sea. It's a strategic crossroads, a treasure trove of resources and a battleground for territorial claims. From ancient maps to colonial-era treaties and modern international law, each country has its own narrative of sovereignty, each contributing to the complexity of the South China Sea dispute. It's a region where the stakes are high, affecting global trade, regional security, and the balance of power. The South China Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a reflection of the geopolitical dynamics of our time. The South China Sea, a seemingly tranquil maritime domain, conceals a complex web of geopolitical intrigues. To fully comprehend the current tensions, we must first delve into the historical roots of the dispute. The South China Sea has long been a cauldron of contention. China asserts its sovereignty over much of the sea, citing ancient maps and records, claiming a historic right. This assertion, however, is not unchallenged. Other nations bordering the South China Sea, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei and Taiwan, stake their claims based on a mix of colonial-era treaties, modern international law and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Each claimant state has its own narrative, intertwining history and law in their bid to assert sovereignty. Key treaties like the Treaty of Paris and international norms like the exclusive economic zones established by UNCLOS play crucial roles in shaping these narratives. History, it seems, has sown the seeds of the present discord. The South China Sea is no stranger to territorial disputes, with several features at the heart of the contention. Let's start with the Spratly Islands, a scattered group of islands, reefs and shoals that are claimed in whole or in part by China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia and Taiwan. Each nation is drawn by the promise of abundant natural resources and strategic gain. Next, we have the Scarborough Shoal, a triangular-shaped chain of reefs and rocks claimed by both China and the Philippines. A standoff in 2012 saw China effectively seizing control, a move that continues to stir tensions. Then there's the Paracel Islands, claimed by China, Taiwan and Vietnam, but controlled by China since a naval showdown with South Vietnam in the 70s. Each of these disputed features has seen its fair share of maritime standoffs and military confrontations, adding fuel to the fire of regional instability. These territorial disputes are a ticking time bomb, threatening regional stability. Beyond geopolitics, the South China Sea is a crucial artery of the global economy. Every year, trillions of dollars in goods traverse its waters, connecting the vibrant economies of East Asia to markets around the world. This maritime highway is a lifeline for countless industries, from technology to textiles, making its stability essential to the global economic order. But the South China Sea is not just a conduit for goods. It is also home to bountiful fisheries that provide sustenance for millions across the region. The sea's waters teem with a diversity of marine life, underscoring its ecological importance. The potential of the South China Sea goes even deeper, quite literally. Beneath its waves lie vast, untapped energy reserves, including oil and natural gas. These resources could fuel the future growth of the region, adding fuel to the fire of territorial disputes. The economic significance of the South China Sea adds another layer to its geopolitical complexity. The military dimension of the South China Sea dispute is a growing source of concern. China's assertive actions are a focal point of these worries. The construction of artificial islands, coupled with the establishment of military installations, has significantly altered the region's status quo. These actions are seen as an attempt by China to fortify its territorial claims, thereby heightening the military tensions in the region. Responses from the international community have been varied. Some countries have chosen a diplomatic route, aiming to resolve the issue through dialogue and negotiation. Others have taken a more assertive stance, bolstering their own military presence in the region as a countermeasure. The United States, in particular, continues to assert its commitment to ensuring freedom of navigation, conducting routine naval patrols in what it deems to be international waters. The military tensions in the South China Sea are a stark reminder of the potential for escalation. The South China Sea is a chessboard for strategic rivalries, with each player making calculated moves. On this board, China is the most assertive player, driven by a vision of regional dominance. This ambition is rooted in a desire to safeguard its maritime interests, assert regional hegemony, and project power globally. China's assertiveness is visible in its construction of artificial islands and military installations, moves that have heightened tensions and raised eyebrows in the international community. But the game is not one-sided. Other claimant states, including Vietnam, the Philippines and Malaysia, are not passive bystanders. They have responded with diplomatic efforts, military modernization and strategic alliances. They've sought to balance China's assertiveness with their own interests, often aligning themselves with the United States, a formidable player on the global stage. The United States, for its part, has a vested interest in the South China Sea. It is driven by the need to uphold international law, promote regional security, and ensure freedom of navigation in these crucial waters. The United States' involvement counters China's attempts to assert control and has led to a delicate dance of power politics. Strategic partnerships and alliances play a critical role in this geopolitical puzzle. They serve as a counterweight to China's assertive actions and are a testament to the enduring relevance of collective security in contemporary geopolitics. They also underscore the importance of multilateral cooperation in managing regional disputes and fostering stability. But alliances also carry risks. They can escalate tensions, draw clear lines of division and potentially trigger larger conflicts. Therefore, they must be tempered with diplomacy and a commitment to peaceful resolution. As we navigate these strategic rivalries, it's crucial to remember that the South China Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a complex geopolitical arena where national interests, regional stability and global power dynamics intersect and interact. The strategic dynamics of the South China Sea are a microcosm of larger geopolitical rivalries. And the outcomes of these rivalries will shape the future of the region and indeed the world. The rule of law plays a pivotal role in the South China Sea dispute, albeit a contentious one. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, offers a legal framework for resolving maritime disputes. It sets out the legal boundaries of coastal and maritime spaces, rights to resources, and rules for environmental protection. However, its effectiveness depends on the compliance of the disputing parties. A landmark moment came in 2016 when an arbitration tribunal under UNCLOS ruled against China's expansive claims in the South China Sea. Yet, China rejected this ruling, highlighting the challenge of enforcing international law without consensus. This rejection not only intensified the dispute, but also raised serious questions about the effectiveness of such legal mechanisms. The South China Sea dispute poses a fundamental challenge to the rule of international law. It underlines the importance of diplomatic engagement and multilateral cooperation in upholding these norms to ensure peace and stability. The ripples of the South China Sea dispute extend far beyond its waters. This geopolitical tussle, teetering on the brink of escalation, reverberates through global trade, security, and international relations. The South China Sea, a vital artery of global commerce, facilitates trillions of dollars in trade annually. Any disruption here could send shockwaves through the world economy. Moreover, the escalating military tensions cast a long shadow over regional and global security. As the world watches the dance of diplomacy and military might, the South China Sea becomes a barometer of international relations, testing alliances and power dynamics. Lastly, this dispute challenges the efficacy of international law. With China's rejection of the 2016 arbitration ruling, questions arise about the strength of international norms and the ability of legal frameworks to resolve such complex disputes. The South China Sea dispute is a litmus test for the international order and the prospects for peaceful resolution. As we navigate the complexities of the South China Sea dispute, one thing is clear. This critical maritime domain, with its historical depth, territorial tangles, economic vitality and escalating military tensions, is a geopolitical puzzle of immense proportions. The strategic ambitions of China, the responses of neighboring states, and the involvement of external powers like the United States further complicate this intricate web of relations. The role of international laws and norms, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, is pivotal in guiding us towards a peaceful resolution. Yet, the efficacy of these laws is challenged by non-compliance and selective interpretations. It is evident that the path to stability lies in diplomatic engagement, steadfast adherence to international law, and multilateral cooperation. The South China Sea, a geopolitical enigma, demands our attention and understanding. Thank you for joining us on this illuminating journey.